this is the Tokyo Ghoul that I signed up for. These past 3 chapters, especially 20 and 21, have been the Tokyo Ghoul that I motherfucking love. Tokyo Ghoul Re is back and kicking motherfucking ass with the mysteries, the action, the intensity, just the suspense. Everything about these past 3 chapters, especially 20 and 21, have been phenomenal. And Tokyo Ghoul right now is up there with one of the best mangas that I'm reviewing. To be honest with you, if I had to put it, it would be Magi and Tokyo Ghoul that are 2 right now that are just kicking fucking ass on so many different levels. But Tokyo Ghoul, this is what the fuck I love to read. Let's go. Now, you can definitely see one of the things that Tokyo Ghoul Re has really introduced the elements is the separation in what the inspectors used to be and what they are now. If you look at it like in chapter 19, the inspector with the glasses, I'm terrible with names, so forgive me, but he's talking about basically, I don't give a fuck. As long as I could get to the next level of inspectors, I don't really care. And it's like, back in the day, motherfuckers had pride. You have Motto that, like, he didn't give a shit about none of that. All these people, like Amon, they didn't really care about those things. But now, in the new generation, all of them, like, you even go back to Uri, they all want to just get to the next level and advance. And honestly, I think that that's a selfish element that has happened with these people. I think maybe all the success against the ghouls have went to their head, and now they want that admiration from the people. They want to be like the next Arima, and you ain't gonna be the next Arima, bro. Arima is a very special case, and I'm sure in due time, whatever the case may be, we will find out why. But yeah, these people, there's a separation between the old generation and new generation, and new generation are a bunch of cunts. And I mean, with chapter 19, you just have shit going down, and I knew the auction was building up for some epic shit, because I mean, you got Ayato versus Juzo, like, oh my god, for starters. It was funny because most of the time, almost in every fight we've seen Juzo in, I've never really felt like, damn, Juzo, you know, he's outnumbered or he's outclassed, he's outmatched. But without his Jason, without his Yamori, you know, his Quinke or whatever, he's fucked. Which is interesting because, again, Juzo's never really been in that predicament where he even has to run in some of these chapters and, you know, escape from Ayato because he knew he was outclassed. So I think that also shows, to a certain degree, the change in Juzo, if you really think about it, because Juzo, prior to this, I die, who gives a fuck? Death is death. Why, you know, why not? So Shinohara's sacrifice and becoming this vegetable ultimately added to that. I honestly think if this was the Juzo from prior to Re, he wouldn't have run. He would have went out fucking, you know, trying his best and ended up dying. But now he understands and appreciates life a little bit more, so he will go and hide. And I think that that was a true sign of his character development. And then 19 also reintroduced Naki, which Naki fucking hilarious. And I'll talk a little bit more about Naki from some of the other chapters, but just with 19, everything was where it really just like 18 and, you know, a few chapters before, it was like, okay, the setup is getting there, it's getting there, it's getting there. 19, just things kept on fucking going insane. He's just bringing so many different elements back. And once again, Period always throws me for a loop when Uta's words that he told Mutsuki were finally revealed. The operation has failed, help won't come. Is like, I honestly think one of the big things about Period, they are on their own side. Even if there is some sort of logic behind what they're doing, it is for them. They don't care about Aogiri. They don't care about the inspectors. They care about whatever their goal is. Now, what is their goal? I don't know. Could it be complete insanity? Maybe. But I honestly think with Period, they just don't give a fuck. It's for them. Like, they're the legendary clowns anyway. So, yeah, I think in due time we will get to see. But chapters like this, again, introduce the fact that could it be that they're helping these people for their own benefit? What's up? And also quickly to mention the end of 19. I've said it already 2-3 times. I'll say it one more time. Mutsuki is the new black-haired Kaneki. Everything, the desperate situations with Kane finding her in the corner or him. I'm just going to keep on saying her. Please stop complaining about that. It's a him or a her, whatever the case may be. Biologically, it's a female. She wants to live as a male. I'm going to refer to her as her. That's just what it is. I mean, you have first Kane trying to get Mutsuki, but then you also have Torso and his desperation. And Torso and Mutsuki is Tsukiyama and Kaneki. Flat out. That's exactly what it is. And throwing Kane in there is mixing things up a little bit so that there's a little bit more of an interesting dynamic to it. It's not just repetition of what we've seen before. Then 21 is where things really kicked off, because for starters, you have Kane tasting Mutsuki like a fucking creep, and you can see just how much importance, and we've seen time and time again, but Kane really just worships Tsukiyama. It's like, I'm not gonna call her trash because that's insulting when I'm about to bring Master Shu. So he really just I don't know, maybe he's in love with him, I don't fucking know, but he definitely has so much to the point where it's like, even though he looks at Mutsuki as garbage, I'm not going to refer to her that. So you get a little bit more of his character yet again. But then the setup right there, the rematch, and it's funny because if you're watching the Tokyo Ghoul Route A anime, we just seen this fight not that long ago, Naki versus Akira, and now we're getting a rematch, and the art was looking sick. Just seeing Akira with her, I'm calling it Zabimaru, I don't care. It reminds me just of Bleach Renji Zabimaru. That shit is exactly, the thing is, like, you can see she's surpassed her father. I wouldn't be surprised if Akira has surpassed Mado, because in a year she's mastered his weapon. It's like, yeah, 1 year she did with her, like, come on, bro. Like, Akira, I think she's already surpassed where her father was, which her father was a master, and don't get me wrong, mentally she might not have passed him, but as far as, like, capabilities and everything, I think she got him. And you can see the bond that Sasuke has with Mutsuki, because in 20 and in all these chapters, he is desperately rushing to get Mutsuki. I almost feel as though, to him, it's kind of like when he went to rescue Hinami back when he was Kaneki. He's desperate to get her. He's like, no, you know, and he's going through everybody. He's mowing people down left and right. And it shows that the bond is strong with her. And maybe it reminds him, maybe the big thing about it is that it reminds him of who he used to be and how he never had anybody to come rescue him. And that's why he's so desperate to get Mutsuki. But one of the biggest things is like this chapter, Kano is watching everybody. Kano, that dirty motherfucker. And then he's there with Eto as well. It's like the big guns is coming out. This is the Tokyo Ghoul that we all fell in love with. When you start seeing Kano's fucking slick ass, you got Eto, and then the revelation at the end of 20. We'll talk about that in a second. The new Ao, Takizawa. Now, to be honest with you, up until Route A, watching the anime recently, I kind of forgot a little bit about Takizawa. I forgot about him, and then I started remembering, and I remember I was like, this pussy-ass motherfucker. When I was reading shit, and he was shaking and crying and everything that I remember I hated him. So to see this pussy that I was like the most biggest piece of shit motherfucking, how dare you call yourself an inspector, come back and be this fucking ruthless and crazy of a ghoul, is insane. So he should have did something really good where he took this person that was fucking just scared to death and he didn't want to go through this situation, and ultimately look what he turned into. And again, that's one of the themes of Tokyo Ghoul, tragedy. Tragedy everywhere. And Takizawa, which yet again kind of confirms Amon is alive. Whether he escaped, whether Takizawa, they starved him, so he's kind of like brainless at the moment, but Amon was able to get away or something. But come on, if it looks like a duck, it smells like a duck, it's Amon. And honestly, up until that point, Chapter 20 was one of the best chapters of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I would definitely say that's a 9 to a 9.5. Great stuff, bringing back Takizawa as a ghoul, Kano, Eto, the advancement, the similarities of Mutsuki yet again to the old black-haired Kaneki, and Sasuke's desperation to rescue her. Just great shit. And then finally, 21. The clowns. Like, I'm really curious to see the extent of Periot's power. When Roma, like, they cut Roma almost in half, and Roma was still able to fuck them up and laugh and everything. Like, the clowns are very in a class of their own. Like, honestly, I think if it went down to it, I think the clowns could take out Aogiri. Or most of Aogiri at the very least, because look at Uta, he got stabbed the fuck up in the face and he's up like nothing. I think one of the things that this chapter as well, 21, did was it signify that Naki does need some sort of development, and he needs to realize that he needs to let go of the past, because when Akira was basically saying, like, you're still holding on to Jason and the memories, and then him losing his people in this chapter, I think is one of the biggest things that is going to force Naki to change from the crybaby bitch and, you know, still missing Yamori, to eventually realizing, okay, I need to stop this. I need to really, you know, grow up, and I need to stop being a little baby bitch. And I think him losing his friends and everything is going to be the last piece of the puzzle for him to finally move on and realize, I can't keep doing this. And then I'm really curious as to why they keep on bringing back Arima, as far as, like, you know, bringing up his name, because he's not really technically here right now. And like, he was this prodigy at 16. And I guess that's once again going back into how the split with the inspectors, just how everybody's worshiping him and want to be the next Arima. So maybe that's a little bit why. But to be honest with you, I'll be real. I don't think that Arima is completely human. There's something, maybe he is a half-breed that just completely looks like a human. Maybe he's the first original ghoul that was some sort of experiment. I don't know what, but I truly don't believe, with all the capabilities that he has, that Arima is just a normal person. I haven't read Tokyo Ghoul Jack, but I just don't believe it. And then yet again, at the end of that chapter, Takizawa, like a fucking monster, ripping that inspector's head off like a pineapple, like, great chapter yet again. Honestly, 20 and 21 were each 9 to 9.5. Great stuff. Just insane, showing character, just everything about it, the progression and everything. And honestly, Tokyo Ghoul Re is on fire right now. flat out on fire. 19, it was like a 7.5 to an 8. It was good stuff, building up and, you know, slowly easing into it. But then 20 and 21, the revelations and everything. Tokyo Ghoul, good shit. But let me know what you guys think first about Takizawa, the new owl. How the fuck are they going to put him down? How strong do you think he is? Did you forget about Takizawa? And then when you seen him, you were like, that's the crybaby bitch. And do you think Naki will get that character development? Is he going to be able to take on Akira and defeat her? And were you shocked to see Juzo actually running and hiding from somebody, which is like, again, wow, he's grown a lot. Like, Ayato for the win, right? And just your overall thoughts of Tokyo Ghoul Re. For the people that have been wondering, I haven't. Trust me, if I drop Tokyo Ghoul Re, I will let you guys know. But I love this manga too much. If I miss a couple weeks, shit happens, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to come back, and you'll either get a 2-in-1, 3-in-1, 4-in-1, 52-in-1. I guarantee I will always review Tokyo Ghoul Re through to the end. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.